Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Real Talk with Ben podcast. Hope you had an amazing week. We are back. We are back after a week away at camp. It's been kind of crazy. It's actually raining and hot, so I have the air conditioner on. So if you hear that, I'm sorry. It's too hot right now in this place, and I need it on. So I apologize if you can hear that. If not, then my mic's amazing. It doesn't pick it up. But anyways, I hope that you did have a great week. Maybe enjoying some nice weather. We're into August now, which is crazy. It's wedding month. Yay! That's my excitement / stress / everything going on with that. But it is August, which is kind of crazy. And if you're new, my name is Ben, and this is my podcast where I talk about life, talk about ministry. I kind of talk about things that have happened to me, things that will happen to me, because oh my, there's a lot of things happening in my life, but God is good. And we are going to talk all about that today on the episode. And what's crazy, to be honest with you, is that being away for a week and not recording an episode was kind of super weird because I'm so used to doing it. So it's kind of like in my head, like I know when I need to record it or whatever. But being away also gave me some time to relax and to focus on camp. Which we'll talk about a little bit today. We'll talk about camp. We'll talk about kind of some other crazy things that are going on as well. And so we're gonna get into this. So like I said, I was at camp for a week at Word of Life. If you remember last summer, I was sports director / video guy / everything going on that summer. So it was good to be back. It was the first time I've been back at Word of Life since I left in March. So it was great to see people and to spend time with people. But most importantly, it was just a great opportunity to spend time with the kids. I was able to coach a little basketball. Then I went over to American football. Then I did some other things. I was just kind of all over the place, but it was really amazing. And I got to see God work. I'm actually going to have a video that's coming out so today's Thursday when you're watching this or listening to this, or early Friday morning. On Friday afternoon / evening, I'll be having a video coming out that was kind of hard to make. I'll be honest with you. You'll see the emotion in me. God really, really did open the doors and open up my eyes to things that I didn't see. He opened up my heart to things that I knew I was frustrated with myself. And I was able to kind of feel that a little bit as I was at camp. I'll talk about it a little bit today, but I really want you to see it's really unedited. I mean, I've added like music on, but that's about it. It's just really a raw look into what it was like and why it was such a touching moment for me. Because it really was. And it was a tough time. Not in a bad way, but in a good way because I was learning. But anyways, so what happened at camp? So I was doing, like I said, I did football, I did basketball. We were on the 6th week. So this week, as you're listening to this, is the last week of camp, which is kind of crazy for them. But it was awesome. We went to a water park on the Thursday. We obviously did a lot of the night meetings and stuff like that. But I say this in what's the video that's coming out tomorrow. But one of my favorite things is relationships building. If you talk to my dad, that's one of his favorite things. The reason why I think he loves it so much is, he's at the point now where he doesn't do as much camp whenever he comes, but he does more relationship building, missionary encouragement, that kind of stuff. And that's what I've really started to enjoy as well, is just spending time with the kids. It's so funny. I stream on Twitch. If you didn't know that, I stream on Twitch. And hearing some of the kids that were like, oh, I got to check you out. Oh, we got to watch. That's like really cool because that's just, again, another way that I can connect with the next generation that allows me to do that. And so I learned a lot of lessons. It was also really cool, by the way, I didn't point this out, that I was with a team from Cedarville, the only American team to come help at Word of Life camps this summer due to like COVID and stuff. And they came for 2 weeks. Rebecca and I got to tour them, or take them on a tour. There we go. Not tour them. Take them on a tour on the Saturday before I went to camp, which was really, really fun. I only knew one of them, Jillian. She grew up in the same town as me, but it was really cool to spend time with all of them. and just kind of get to know them, and then do a week of camp with them. Some amazing people with some amazing hearts that are willing to learn. The fact that they were willing to adapt in the culture, the fact that they were willing to just kind of, really try to be in the culture and not just a visitor of it. And that was really cool. And that was something that encouraged me as someone that's literally living here to not be as scared. As you know, I've talked about it a lot of times. I get nervous, going, do they speak English? Do they not? But it's encouraged me like, hey, I need to sit down and start learning Hungarian. Hey, I need to be confident when I'm in public, whatever Hungarian words I do know, like use them with confidence and be willing to do that, because that's going to make relationships, which is something that I talk about a lot tomorrow, but it's such an important thing, I think, in ministry, is building relationships. You can't just share the gospel with somebody always that's going to just receive it. Sometimes you have to build that relationship. And that's what's been so cool. And also just seeing like all my friends again, seeing all my former missionary coworkers, all of the campers and stuff. Like I said, one of the coolest things, honestly, for me was, I call him my friend, Zaki, who is, I think he's in high school. So I don't know exactly his age, but him and his dad have been coming for years. I've known them for probably 6 years or so, 5-6 years. He's gone through a lot. He has had a lot of difficulties in life, recent difficulties, and then difficulties throughout his whole life. But the bond that I see a father and son have, especially between them, I'll be honest with you, is something that I really want to have one day with my daughter or my son. And also that I want to continue to have with my father and continue to have with, my heavenly Father. I mean, the way that Zaki's dad is like always there for him, like always encouraging him, but like encouraging other people too. And the smile that Zaki has, like if like you would know his story, and I don't feel like it's my job to share his story, like, get to know Zaki and then you can ask him, but you would go, how can someone that has gone through as much as he has be so excited, like always smiling and always wanting to play football? He loves American football and those kind of things. And then I have to remind myself that like his hope is not found in like his own success, his own well-being. His hope is found in Jesus Christ. His hope is found in what God gives him, and the same for his dad. His dad's hope is not the fact that, maybe he'll be healed one day and he'll be able to do things that normal kids get to do. No, his hope is in the fact that my son loves Jesus. I love Jesus. That's what matters. And that's what's so cool. And it's a story that like, I'm going to hold on to for the rest of my life. Like that right there just taught me that like, I shouldn't be ashamed of the gospel. I shouldn't be ashamed of what I believe in. And I shouldn't be ashamed in who I am or who God's, made me to be. Like I need to be the encouragement to others, but I need to be like realizing that like God has given me, so many abilities. There's even things that I always thought was a default, on me, or was something that was frustrating for me. But I realized it's allowed me to connect with other people. And that's what's so cool. And I pray that there's more kids that have relationships like Zaki and his dad, but you look around and go, how many really do? How many have that? Excuse me. It is truly, truly cool thing to see and to watch and everything like that. And so I'll talk more about camp, the lessons, really the kind of my heart open to you guys. If you want to check that out, it's going to be on my YouTube. It will be probably up tomorrow at some point, and I really encourage you to watch it, share it, because I want people to know the truth. I want people to know really what I've learned. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you'll enjoy it. I hope you'll get some encouragement out of it as well. But like I said, I had some amazing experiences at camp. conversations I had with people, getting more of the wedding figured out, which was encouraging. That's still very stressful. I could spend a whole episode on that. Maybe Rebecca and I will talk about it after we're married and everything, and kind of talk about the struggles, the things we wish we would have done, wish we would have done differently or whatever. I'll tell you, it's going to be a great time, but it's definitely a stressful time. But at the same time, it's hopefully going to be good for everyone. So anyways, that's kind of the lessons I've learned, the experiences I had at camp. Being away has been hard, being away from Rebecca, but then also just being away from making videos and stuff like that. But it was a well-needed rest. And I will be having pictures coming up. Hopefully, I would think by next week, like the beginning of next week. I start work next week, which we'll talk about it here in a little bit. But during that time, I'll hopefully get photos edited and posted on Facebook, so that way everyone can kind of see what was happening, what was going on, the different people that I met or reconnected with, everything like that. So yeah, some amazing experiences, lessons learned, great time. We'll go back next year. Hopefully spend a week. Hopefully Dad will be able to come next year. That's a whole nother story. He wasn't able to come again this year, but he'll be able to come for the wedding. So that's important for me and for my family as well. So we're going to move on to the second part of this. This is kind of like a weird episode, like I'm back episode, but it's like, hey, I have a lot of things going on episode. And one of those biggest things that I have going on is that I start my new job or jobs, but job. Yes. I don't remember if I've talked about this. If I've talked about this on a podcast, then you can comment at me and say, Ben, you should listen to your podcast more. It's kind of hard to listen to your podcast when you've already listened to it like 70 times in order to edit it and stuff. But yes, I might have talked about this. I have a job change. And I might even go more in depth of what it is today. And that way it's kind of understood. So, like I said, originally I was going to have sort of two jobs. I was going to be kind of like the tech guy, and then I was going to be like teaching typing and a lot of other things. But about a couple of weeks ago, like right before I came to camp, I got a phone call that said, hey, we want to change your job. Would you be willing? And I said, yes, please. And part of the reason why I said yes was not necessarily because I know the job or I'm comfortable with that job, the new job, but because it gets me back in the classroom, gets me with the students. And if you know me, one, I love camp, but I also love to teach. I love students. The atmosphere that you get is just like none other. So one of the biggest things I would say is some of the biggest lessons that, or not really lessons, but one of the coolest things I'm going to get to do and learn at the same time is that I'm going to get to be a guidance counselor for seniors, mainly seniors for their senior year, but also juniors, sophomores, and freshmen a little bit as well, which is super cool. Like getting to know all of these like high school age kids, getting to walk through them through not just the seniors, but everyone through their career is stressful and it's pretty cool as well. And I'll get to why it's stressful in a second. But then on top of that job, I'll also be teaching Bible 3 days a week, which I actually had a meeting with one of my future coworkers, and they were telling me about the Bible teaching, and there's a really cool way they do it. And one of the coolest things they do is just, they each find kind of something to teach about and they teach it. And that to me sounds really cool. So I'll be teaching Bible 3 days a week. I'll be doing English as a second language 5 days a week. I'll be teaching typing and Google Suite, 2 to 3 days a week. Yeah, I have a lot going on. It can seem overwhelming. It was very overwhelming before. I've had a few meetings this week. It was very overwhelming, kind of stressful. But I think out of all of those, the biggest one that's going to be for me to learn is the guidance counselor role. Learning the different colleges and universities in Europe, meeting the different students, meeting the parents, meeting what do these students need? What do they need to go to university? What are they like, all these things? Because as you all know, I'm an elementary education major. Like I deal with 7-year-olds that have to go to the restroom all the time. At one point I thought I was going to teach high school, but never did. And so it's kind of a reality for me, I guess, or like a shocker per se of like, oh, okay, we're doing high school, which is totally fine. And it's totally, I'm down for it. Like, honestly, like I'm super excited. I'm super stoked. Uh, Doing middle school is going to be a little interesting, but honestly, doing high school for me is going to be something that's going to be new, but I'm super excited. A lot to learn. I'm stepping into some big shoes that are leaving the school, but I know that God's got me where he has me. And that's why I also believe that God always has a plan, because, I was very discouraged a lot of the months I was at home, because I'm going like, I'm just going to be a tech guy at a school. I want to teach. And then just seeing how God was like, hey, hold on, Ben, slow down. I got you. I hear you, and put me where, maybe not necessarily where I wanted to be, but somewhere where he knows, hey, your talents can be used, your skills can be used to better my kingdom. And so super excited to start at GGIS. We actually have the first week for at least the newbies like myself next week, and then a week of like in-service days. And then the students come on my wedding weekend, which is very interesting. It's gonna be a little stressful, but hey, there's a reason why God has everything planned the way it is, and I'm super excited, super stoked. It is a crazy journey that I'm going to be starting. I mean, like, Rebecca's working full time, which is going to be great for us, as well as I'm working full time. But it definitely is stressful. It's not. I've never taught in another country before. I've never, I don't necessarily know what to expect, or what the experience is going to be like. But I know that when it comes to teaching, most kids, no matter what country you're at, are the same, in the sense that, if you motivate them, you encourage them, they're going to do their best, and you want that. And my goal is not necessarily to have the perfect class. My goal is to just have these kids wanting to learn more. If it's in Bible class about God, if it's learning English, is like to learn English better. If it's to get in their best college, like, I hope they get into their dream college. But my job is to just, that's one thing I love about guidance counselors, like to shepherd the flock, kind of like encourage them and push them along. And something that I guess I never really realized how much I would love, and getting to spend time one-on-one with all these students and getting to know them and getting to talk with them, hearing their, from freshmen to seniors, hearing where they want to be, what do they want to do, where they want to go. Like, that's what's so cool. And to know that some of them aren't Christians, to know that some are, and to hear their backstories. It's like, that's why I got into teaching, was to be a part of a kid's life, to help this kid grow, to encourage them. And that's what's so cool. And so, like I said, I'm very stressed. Like I said, this is August, and it's crazy that it's August, which is exciting, but it's less than a month away for Rebecca and I to finish everything we need to for the wedding, while she's full-time working. I get ready to start full-time working, all these different things. I'm still obviously making podcasts, Twitch streams, and stuff like that, and we want to be able to get this wedding figured out and everything, but then also just to spend time with each other, and these kind of things. And so, Ben and Rebecca and could really not deserve, that sounds terrible. We really would like to have a lot of prayer from friends and family. So if you would, please pray for us. Pray for me as I just kind of go into this new world of everything, as it is somewhat stressful, but at the same time, God is good, and he is always going to be good. Knowing that he has set this in motion years ago, he knew this before I was born, that this was going to happen, is kind of crazy, but at the same time, it's so, so cool. I know that every step that he leads, it's not a bad step. It's where he wants me. I've always said I never thought I thought I might end up in Hungary full time. I never thought I was going to get married and stay in Hungary. But God knows this is where I need to be, and to be an encouragement to not only Rebecca, but to the people of Hungary. And Hungary is a place right now where, as a Christian, you can be open and be honest and be real. And that's what's so cool. Will it stay like this? We don't know. But God is moving in this country. God will always move. God is always there. He's always going to be there for you and for me. And that's what's so cool. And so I know I took a break. I know I took a week break, but I'm back. I can tell you that I'm back for sure. We're still going to be doing the sports podcast every Monday, hopefully every Monday. I know it came out on a Tuesday once. And then obviously this that comes out as well. And again, I hope that the reason why I do media, and I say this all the time, the reason why I do media is because I want you and your family to sit down to laugh, to enjoy something, to think about things, or you and your wife, or you and your husband, or whatever. Like maybe bring your youth group and watch one of these, because I want you to be encouraged. I want you to leave. I mean, you don't have to watch. If you're listening, you can just listen as well. But I want you to be encouraged. I want you to leave with that sense of like, I can do this because God is behind me. God, I'm following Christ. I'm doing everything I can. And that's not always easy. But I have seen how God has worked in my life. You can ask my parents, they've seen it. And so I really hope that you can walk away from this with some encouragement, knowing that it's not easy, that even for myself, I feel life is crazy right now. It's stressful, it's tiring, but I know God has me where he wants me. And I hope you know that God has you where he wants you. But if you don't know Christ, if you don't know that free gift, talk to me, talk to your local pastor, talk to a Christian friend or something. That talk to one of us, because we want to share the free gift that was given to us. It's not ours to have. We need to share it, and we need to glorify God as we do it. And so if you've loved this episode of the podcast, if you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other of the podcast networks, then go ahead and favorite it, like it, keep it there. It should be there every week so you can hear me. Here we're going to talk about next week is episode 100. Wowzers, episode 100. That is crazy, actually, to me. That I've done 100 of these crazy episodes, that you've had to deal with me for 100 episodes, for those that have been listening the longest. And if you've watched it on YouTube and you've loved it on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And that will allow me to see that you're loving it, that you want to see more of it, that you want to be encouraged by it, that you might want to, share it with friends or whatever. And that's another thing, share it with friends. And that's one way you can be encouraged. And if you love gaming, or you want to see me be crazy, head on over to Twitch. I mentioned it earlier, but I'll say it again. Head on over to Twitch, and you will be definitely enjoying my silliness and my goofiness, and hopefully enjoying it at the same time. Once again, I just want to say this, that we serve an amazing God, that he is faithful. We can trust him. And as always, we'll talk next time.